Good morning, welcome to the video. It is Monday the 10th of March and after a week of great sunshine we have had a morning of rain. I don't know what time it is, probably about 8 o'clock now actually, and we have probably had an hour of good rain, and actually that rain really gave a nice sort of summer rain smell. That seems to have gone now and it's just damp and wet. But anyway, I'm just currently just trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle. So the two most awkward bits of kit I have to put in the van are the blower and the sprayer, of which I need both. So I've managed to work it out. I also, on the way here, had the Time Master in. Now this is a bit of a pain with the handlebars. This is also very delicate. Now you can take it off, but then you've then got all of that framework attached to these pipes, and I wouldn't want a pipe to pull out, so I found that this actually works quite well in here, with the strap going around the lid like that, and that seems to hold everything nicely in place. Obviously I've got my button cover on, which is doing a sterling job. So essentially today is a winter cleanup. So it's going to be basically a day of raking up twigs and sticks and things like that. So it's a good winter day's money, if you like. However, I do this every year. However, because of my hand, I just couldn't face raking for a day. Obviously, you know, you're blowing as well and all the rest of it. But yeah, that's kind of why I'm doing it today, when we're just about to go into the spring season. So this week is just a case of ticking off those winter jobs. Today, obviously I'm doing this job. Tomorrow I've got the scan on my hand, so I'm just doing one local job, well, maybe a couple of local little jobs. One's a first cut on a new lawn that I told you about. I've just had the job approved for, which I quoted last week, small lawn. It's going to have a full lawn renovation at the back, at the front. There's a bit of a land argument with the neighbours, so all I'm going to do is just treat the bit that both parties are happy are theirs, and then hopefully that will be resolved by the autumn. So then what I can do is then do the full renovation on the front lawn in the autumn. Also, what that means is the client, when they're watering it in, they can just have the sprinkler set up at the front of the house and not have to keep carrying it to the front and then water that and then carry it to the back, because that's how things get lost when you're seeding. You want to keep the seed damp, so you want the sprinkler on multiple times during the day, only for a little bit, just to keep the seed damp. I always say set it up, and I always say, as a sort of a course of practice, is every time you turn the kettle on to make a cup of tea, flick the tap on, and that seems to just be kind of a good sort of memory, to help remind them that you don't really, with seed, want to be just doing morning or evening. You want to do it lots of little times. So anyways, I've got that one to do, then the scan. If you remember the big lawn that I periodically cut when their mower breaks down, that mower's broken down again, so we'll be looking to do that on Wednesday, and then a couple of regulars on Thursday for their first cut of the year, and then Friday, in theory, nothing's booked in, and I'm hoping to have a nice day off and go for a bike ride with a friend of mine. That's the plan, to sort of symbolise the end of the winter and the start of the crazy season. So yeah, that's the plan for Friday. No doubt I'll probably just end up working, but it's nice to have these plans. Okay, so I've been on site for about 2 hours now, and basically just blowing sticks, twigs and sticks. These trees are bloody horrible, is all I can describe, and this is the mess they drop behind, and it's like Velcro through grass. It just sticks, because they're sticks, obviously. So we've got this pile here, we've got another pile just there, and then we've got another pile over there. This is something I probably do a bit of a clear up, maybe 2-3 times a year. I normally come in just before Christmas. I came in, did a clear up, and then there were, by all accounts, I couldn't remember it, but a storm came through that weekend and basically made this mess. So yeah, that's what we are doing today. So we're going to get this cleared up, and then I will spray the rest of the lawn, or this half of it, and out the front with iron, and then yeah, that's today's work really. Last week obviously very busy with, well, sun came out, people remembered they had lawns, lots of quotes coming in, or sorry, lots of inquiries coming in. Couple of quotes gone out, particularly the football club and stuff, but a lot of them, it's just, we're at that point now where it's probably going to be too late, certainly for maintenance, because I've got to get all the maintenance done for the jobs I've already got booked in, and I need to get that done really while we're in the growing season, which is about to start, and obviously we are going to have some rain delays during those, you know, that month and a half, 2 months, whatever it may be. So yeah, what I don't want to do is just take on too much. So I've had one person who I very politely said, you know, we've probably missed the boat, I'm probably at maximum, and she said, thank you very much for getting back to me. I'd love to be an opportunity to get on the waiting list for when your availability does come along. So could I still go in and quote, just to give her a rough idea, rather than sort of wasting her time for, you know, a season, and then all of a sudden it's way over what she was expecting, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I'll try and get her booked in. It's always good to have a waiting list, isn't it? Right, so as I say, I'm going to get this cleared up, and then we'll get the old sprayer out. Tuesday, so 2 jobs penciled in for today, then I've got to go and have my hand seen to, so God knows how long that will be. So therefore I didn't book anything in after that, because I could be there a couple of hours, could be there loads. Now, certainly bearing in mind last week and the weather and how warm it is today, is feeling particularly cold. So that just is a perfect example of full spring and what that actually is. Obviously last week the phone rang off the hook because it was so nice. It's now pretty cold out, and I keep seeing reports of snow, but I can't see that. I think that's just scaremongering to go out to make people buy warm coats and things like that. So yeah. So anyways, I'm just going to nip up to the container now. I just need to get a few things, and yeah, then I'll see you at the first lawn, which will be a new mowing client. Okay, so this is the front. I've spoken about this one. It's not ideal, but it's convenient to me. It's in between jobs that I'm already doing. It's going to replace one which I lost this year. The back garden's piece of easy, nice and easy, nice and flat. I'll show you that one in a minute. So we're going to trim this off, and this is why I'm thinking the battery mower might be the way to go, certainly for the first couple of cuts. Access from the curb up there between the trees, no problem. Here's the back, so very straightforward really. Yeah, so I'll show you it once it's all done. Okay, so there we go. There's just a once over with the Ego mower. Puts a little bit of a stripe in. I will probably use the 56 Pro in actual fact when I start mowing regularly. So yeah, better stripes and quicker. Okay, so that's on setting 2, and this job has taken exactly half an hour, which is kind of what I expected it to take. The edges, I'm not sure have been done, so they took a little bit longer just to get them kind of presentable. It looks to me like the lawn has had a treatment, so I'm going to inquire as to who did that, whether it was the client themselves, or well, this is an elderly client. It's the daughter that's hiring me, so it could have been her because she's the one who used to cut the lawn. So I'm going to inquire as to who's done that. I'm going to make the point of that if that company turn up the day before or the morning of the day I come in, I am just going to plough through it and hoover it all up, the fertilizer that is. So it would make more sense for me to do the treatments, because I'm going to have 10 jobs on this mowing day. I'll have 10 mowing jobs, so I can't be flexible. And it's a mowing week, so the next day I've got a full day of mowing, as I will have for that whole week. So I just don't have any flexibility to come in at another time, and I can't be mixing weeks. So it's a lot simpler if I do the treatments. So I will make this point to them and see if they want to come on board with that, or risk me just hoovering it all up. Okay, so this is the new lawn care job. So again, this is 2 minutes from the house I was just at. A new build, so classic new build. Weeds, moss, neighbour dispute about the long stuff. Okay, and here's the back. So I've applied to the front and back iron and a selective weed killer. So we'll be back here in early April, I guess, to to destroy it and rebuild it, or reseed it, should I say. Okay, so just on those treatments. Now there's just one little issue with there, and that is the back garden and dog dirt. There was lots of it of all different ages, lifelines. Some have been there this morning, some have clearly been there a long time. Now I need to nip that in the bud. I also think just generally it's really bad housekeeping. They've got a child. I think it's I don't even know if it's a toddler, but it soon will be, and it soon will. Your back's turned and it's on the lawn. It'll eat it, pick up anything. You need to get on top of that. So when I send the invoice for today's work, I will just send a little note just saying, just with a regard to housekeeping, it is expected that all dog dirt will be picked up before my arrival. Morning, so it's Wednesday. I went to the doctor's, or went to have my scan on the back of my hand. It turns out I probably did cut one of the ligaments. However, over the Christmas period when it wasn't working, it has healed, but it's just healed really badly. That's kind of it, unfortunately. The operation would probably be unnecessary, really, and it would be 4 months out, so it's kind of out of the question at that as well. So yeah, it's just really about pain management, really, until it sort of just completely settles down. That might be a cortisone injection if it becomes really bad over time, but cortisone injections, from my experience and certainly from my brother's experience, is the long-term effects of them are worse than actually having them done. So that's the hand done. So yesterday, you'll remember, I had 2 jobs before I went to the hospital, and one was a first cut of the year, and I noticed that there was a treatment had been done. So I sent an email to the client just explaining that I also provide treatments. In fact, I provide treatments for all the lawns who require it. All the lawns that I cut who require lawn care, if that makes sense. And it would be a lot easier if I took on the treatments, because then I could oversee the scheduling of it properly, and not basically 2 hours after the grass and 2 hours after the fertilizer's been put down, come in and mow it all up, and potentially suck some up, blow some off the lawn, or whatever the case may be. So she agreed with me that would be a good thing to do. She told me how many times whoever the company was came in and what they charged, and I said, look, I've got the mowing, so I'll be happy to just match that quote. And that was that, as simple as that. Now I've got the gig, and had I not mentioned it, I wouldn't have the gig. So it's not going to be out of my way. The 5 treatments that she's currently having, I will just do those treatments after I've mown. It's a small lawn. I don't have to. It's not like, it's a couple of hours of pushing fertilizer spreaders around. In fact, for the majority of it, certainly the front lawn, something like this will do. And as we see, I did my first cut of the season, and it took me half an hour or 20 minutes. Can't remember. Half an hour, I think. Let's just say half an hour. I mean, literally, with this on the front lawn, it's going to be 1 pass, and then on the back lawn, it's going to be maybe 2 or 3 passes. So it's going to be no extra time at all in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I guess keep your eyes out, and if you notice that you're working on a lawn that's being treated by somebody else, call it out, and you might even get the gig. So there you go. And the other lawn, which had a lot of dog dirt on, I sent her an email just saying that it just wasn't really acceptable, because it ends up, my machinery all ends up being soiled, and the odours in the you can see how I spoke yesterday and how I'm rephrasing it now, because I sort of take my time to send it as professionally as possible. The odours in the van, that is unfair on my children who ride in the van regularly. I've heard nothing back, so we will wait to see. So today, 2 mows, 2 first cuts of the season actually, for 2 fortnightly lawns, then back to a lawn from last week just to finish off with the iron treatment. So I got it all cut last week, if you remember. Actually, I think it was Friday. Got it cut, hand started to ache, so knocked it on the head then and went and sat on the John Deere mower. I've got to do the iron treatments, and then there's just a rough bit of grass which almost just needs trimming, but I need to get that bit done as well. So that's today's jobs, 3 jobs today, and then tomorrow will be the large mowing job. What's also good about the 2 that I'm doing, my mower's in that road, so I can pick the mower up, bring it home, and then I'm good for tomorrow. And then as I'm passing back on the way home, if I've got time, I'll drop the mower off. And then Friday's Friday. It may be a case of just prepping for the following week, because that's really when the lawn care season starts. However, on the radio on the way up to the container, I heard that there was snow in Birmingham. So, I mean, it's cold down here. It feels like it could snow, but we should wait and see. And I always say this to clients. In 2018, it snowed 3rd week of March. So that is something to bear in mind. I had a client yesterday, I told him for seeding we'd be looking at early April. He emailed me yesterday saying, due to last week's good weather, could we seed any earlier? Fool's spring. So no is the answer to that. We shall seed when the soil temperatures are right. First property of the day, this was Friday's cut, so not quite at the angle of the stripes, but it's now all been sprayed with iron, as all the other lawns as well, looking all very yellow. This is all going to get completely dug up because this pond's being completely rebuilt, so I'm not doing too much work to this. I've just sprayed it, but essentially there's going to be a lot of repair work, so we'll go to town on that when that is ready for renovation, I guess. Right, I can't decide if this is hail or if it is snow. It's cold either way. Fortunately I have a shed to hide in. So yeah, this is just a fortnightly lawn, which is no treatments or anything, literally just a cut. A lot of grub damage, as there always is on this lawn. Don't know if you can sort of see it, kind of in line with that table, I suppose. It's a bit darker over there, and then round the other side as well, really bad. So so yeah, is what it is. I'll just keep clearing it up every time I'm here, and then probably put a bit of soil and seed down. Client's not fussed about it. They don't want me to do anything else other than just that. And sometimes, as I said many times, it is what it is. There's what we would do, but it's not our money, so we do what the client wants to do. So this is the last bit of job I need to do. It's just this left hand side of the lawn, and then that's me done for the day. Did another one, but not much to show you there. Not a great deal of growth, to be honest, but just a little bit of a tidy up cut. Anyways, right, I'm gonna get to coat. So it is Thursday today. I woke up, the first thing I looked at my phone and saw snow symbols. So it's currently 3 degrees, and it's sort of, I don't know, it's rained a bit while I've been getting ready. It looks as though there's some rain due in about an hour, little bit, and then there's some more rain this afternoon. So what was supposed to be a dry day is now turned out to be not that. So it is what it is. Okay, so it's we recognise this one perhaps from last year, and I've cut this since 2017 on and off. Done it with the Time Master a couple of times and the Cub Cadet. So yeah, I'll show you it now. So the formal bit the gardener does, I don't do that. So essentially I'll be going down, up, around the tree, down, up around the perimeter, and then you've got a large area behind this kind of roady bush, hedge, divider, whatever you want to call it. So this is probably the shortest it's ever been, so it's quite refreshing actually. You can see where the clients had a go and then slipped and failed miserably. Hopefully we won't be in the same predicament. Obviously Cub Cadet, no bagging, just letting it fly. Okay, so all done. So it's taken about an hour and a half to get all this done. So now we've got that section over there, which I mean it's nowhere near the size of this. We've got guys putting fences in. So this is the section over here. So actually the guy who normally cuts the formal lawn, I'll show you. Neil, what's your Instagram handle? Yeah, who are you on Instagram?
I am Neil _. I don't know actually, off the top of my head.
Yeah, NDV Garden Services. There you go. Just doing my use week, so just showing it. So Neil, you've seen Neil's work when I've been here before, but now this is the guy who stripes that bit. I don't get involved in that. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so I've actually come and sit in the van because it's so cold. It was 3 degrees when I got here. It feels like uncomfortably cold. So yeah, I just sat in here for a coffee just to warm up. Yeah, so I'd say 2/3 of the way through now. Just got the section up here. There's some guys doing some fencing and that, so there's a lot of their equipment and supplies all just stored, so I'm gonna have to just kind of cut round that. There's not a great deal I can do about it, but it's, as I say, it's in the best condition I've seen it when I've been asked to come in and cut, so that's good. So it's not actually that long in those areas. Right, just gonna warm up and then get back out there. All done. So that probably took, well, this bit took about an hour and a half, and then that bit probably 45 minutes. Yeah, pretty easy, but that's with a 50-inch deck. So that is it for today. A nice and easy day sitting on a mower. What more is there? A little bit of travel today, but you know, not the end of the world. This is my old sort of stomping ground, if you like. So this is where I would have been every single day before I made the move. You can see the house in the background. Remember, I can't take the credit for those stripes you can see in the background. That's Neil, who lovingly tends to the formal bit of lawn. The client tends to look after this bit of lawn when they have the time, and more often than not, the mower breaks down, and then when they realise it's not going to be fixed, I get the call. So you know, it's not a bad day's work. Anyways, right, I'll see you tomorrow. Not a great deal going on tomorrow. Gonna dig some holes for some trees and shrubs, I think. Again, it's just another winter job that's just been slightly delayed because the client didn't order the plants when they said they were going to. So we'll get that all out the way, and then next week, weather permitting, it is lawn care season. So that's it. So you just saw me putting the tractor away there. It's always a little bit hairy getting it out, but I've kind of got it down to a knack now. So this morning was just doing some emailing and invoicing, etc. Quite an easy day really. Then came back, just dropped the tractor off as you saw, and then just spent some time with the client, just digging some holes for some plants to go in, or some trees to go in actually. And the trees haven't turned up yet. So they were due 45 minutes ago. which was later than I thought they were coming yesterday. So the plan was they were supposed to turn up yesterday, then we were going to dig them in today. They haven't, and I've got to go back to get the kids. So I've dug the holes to what I think they might be. I've left the client the spade and the big bar and stuff to if they need to make any alterations. But yeah, is what it is, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, I can come back on Monday if needed in the afternoon. But it is lawn care season from Monday onwards. So like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you next week.